Okay, it's time for another stoner story. How about when a buddy of mine was in the car with me and went a couple of places, did a few things, and smoked some joints. Here's more. Anyway, when he was leaving, he started freaking out because he couldn't find one of his chunks of hash. We never did find it, but a little while later, okay, when I went to Kathy's work to pick her up, we talked about something outside of the car for a minute. While we were talking, all of a sudden, I noticed a big square black object stuck on the outside of the car tire's tread, right? I walked over to it and peeled it off the tire. It was a half ounce my buddy had lost. Somehow it had gotten under the tire, and then I drove over it without even knowing it. The odds of it sticking to the tire long enough, and then me happening to find it there, are actually quite astronomical. Anyway, he did get it back because I don't rip off friends. And that's a quicker stoner story actually than last time. Okay, this next segment is medical info. We might as well start off with the benefits of medical marijuana. You know, just to crack the pipe, so to speak. We're starting on the pro side. Okay, this is from Jocelyn Elders, MD, right, a doctor, a former U.S. Surgeon General. Okay, she says, the evidence is overwhelming that marijuana can relieve certain types of pain, nausea, vomiting, and other symptoms caused by such illnesses as multiple sclerosis, cancer, and AIDS. Okay, or by the harsh drugs sometimes used to treat them. And it can do so with remarkable safety. Indeed, marijuana is less toxic than many of the drugs that physicians prescribe every day. Okay, this is Surgeon General. Okay. Now here's the con side. And it's really stupid, so pay attention. There's going to be a pop quiz after Hot Shot. Alright? Anyway, the con is, and that's actually pretty ironic considering it's really a con, is from Bill First, who's a doctor, but also a former U.S. Senator, okay? And that's where the con comes in, okay? He says, although I understand many believe marijuana is the most effective drug in combating their medical ailments, okay, I would caution against this assumption due to the lack of consistent, repeatable, scientific data available to prove marijuana's medical benefits. Okay? Based on current evidence, I believe that marijuana is a dangerous drug and that there are less dangerous medicines offering the same relief from pain and other medical symptoms. Okay? Well, the first thing I'd like to say about that is, what a fucking maroon. Alright? And here's why. Okay? First of all, he's admitting that many, which usually means most, okay, think it's effective. Okay? But he doesn't care what we think. He's going to caution us anyway. Okay? Then he says, due to lack of evidence in its favor, okay, so he's saying all those people should suffer more because of a lack of evidence in its favor. Okay? Gee, sounds like the doctor had lots of evidence to me. The first one there. Anyway, it's a pretty bonehead statement so far, okay? So let's take it even a little bit further. What he also says is that based on current evidence, marijuana is a dangerous drug. For instance, what evidence? Oh, he must mean reefer madness. Yeah, that's current, okay? And, okay, last but not least, he dares to say there are lots of other drugs, okay, legal drugs, of course, that you can take with his blessing, the hypocrite, that work amazingly better, and in his fantasy world, none of them have any adverse side effects. Well, that's bullshit. Okay? Wasn't the other doctor just saying that marijuana is less toxic than many of the other drugs that physicians prescribe every day? Okay? Who are you going to believe? The Surgeon General or some senator going up for re-election that doesn't seem to have a problem bullshitting everyone? Okay? If you ask me, their emperor has no clothes. All right? Okay, now here's some more info. Okay, another doctor says, give me a sec to light this. Another doctor says, okay, there's very little evidence that smoking marijuana as a means of taking it represents a significant health risk. Okay, this is at all. Okay, although cannabis has been smoked widely in Western countries for more than 4 decades, there have been no reported cases of lung cancer or emphysema attributed to marijuana. Okay, well, like I said before, maybe it's the cigarette filters causing it, eh? You think?
I hope not.
I betcha. Anyway, he also says, I suspect that a day's breathing in any city with poor air quality poses more of a threat than inhaling a day's dose. For many ailments, it's just a portion of a joint of marijuana. Okay, well, in our case, it's more just a portion of a joint. So we got to admit there is some health risk, okay? But, you know, having cities full of pollution and crap, that ain't helping, I'll tell you that much. Okay, anyway, now, smoking several joints a day has more adverse effects, he says, okay? But it's not near as bad as sitting in a room with 20 cigarette smokers puffing away, which is what I just said. When there weren't any anti-smoking laws, he says, the governments didn't mind changing those laws, though, okay? That's because the non-smokers freaked out, okay, and started screaming. Well, now it's our turn to scream. So change the drug laws now, okay, before we start freaking out worldwide, okay? This is for all the leaders out there. You know, maybe some potheads may not care, but I'm personally sick and tired of being labeled and chastised for something that is no worse than most any other of the distractions in our lives. You know what I mean? It's unnecessary, okay? So ultimately, it's going to be up to you what you want to do about it. But at least don't let them or anyone bullshit you anymore. I consider it a personal insult when someone tries to bullshit me. Okay? You should too. Also, times are tough enough right now, so jailing, fining, and demoralizing people isn't really helping anybody or anything, is it?
It isn't.
No. So stop it.
Mick, how about some stoner jokes?
You want to hear a couple? Here they go. What do you call it when a roach ash burns your shirt? A pothole. Anyway, okay, here's the second one. Yeah. How do you know when you are stoned? When you're too phoned to stone home. These are ones off the internet, people, so don't blame me for them. Anyway, here's another one. Who makes more money, a drug dealer or a hooker?
That's close.
A hooker. Because she can wash her crack and use it again. Anyway, that one wasn't too bad. Okay, what about this one?
Crude.
A little bit. Why is the roach clip called a roach clip? The potholder was taken. Anyway. Yeah.
I get it. It took me a second. Okay, folks, our next segment is celebrity quotes on weed. There you go. Oh, speaking of which.
Yes. Anyway, Jack Nicholson, okay, is quoted on talking to his kids about pot. Okay, he says, I tried to hide the fact I smoke reefer from my youngest children, but I've never been down to the schools and engaged with the sensitivity groups and realized there was no point in keeping it quiet as long as we had a healthy discourse on the topic, the ups and downs, the realities of it, and they knew it all anyway. So anyway, just goes to show you, everybody smokes.